support of the people's best interest. And that's what people have to realize. Don't check out because of that. Lean in because of that. Take it back because of that. And that's the energy that's happening. If we give up, we've actually lost to the money interest and the corporate collusion. We got to lean in because people vote. We still have the power if we understand our power and lean in and grab it.
What's the no new tax? What's your no new tax pledge? What is that?
Oh, so that's a pledge that the money's already there, right? The 7.2 trillion annual budget, the annual budget under Obama was 4.2 trillion, and that included bank bailouts. And then it went up to 6.2 COVID and Trump. And now we're up to 7.2. We can't just keep taking people's money, because at the end of the day, all that money is going to, like I said, DOD contract. It's not going to actually solve the problems that people need. Healthcare, education, affordable housing. Imagine that. Right? It's not going back to the people. So we're going to keep taking the middle classes and the working classes money, because that's literally the working class and middle class are literally who's supporting this country. All that money is going to, like I said, DOD contract. It's not going to actually solve the problems that people need. Healthcare, education, affordable housing. Imagine that. Right? It's not going back to the people. So we're going to keep taking the middle classes and the working classes money. That's literally the working class and middle class are literally who's supporting this country.
Who support who?
Right?
Who?
Because
who?
Housing. Imagine that. Right? It's not going back to the people. So we're going to keep taking the middle classes and the working classes money, because that's literally the working class and middle class are literally who's supporting this country. Right? Because if you make too much, you won't qualify for the earned income tax credit. And if you don't make enough to have offshore accounts and LLCs to hide your money, so you're really not paying your fair share, all of a sudden, who's really holding up? We don't need to take more people's money. We need to.
And this is why I don't want to leave them like that.
Spend it differently.
Okay. Spend it differently. I have been saying for the past 9 months at least, spend it differently. So with me as president, it gets spent differently. The money is allocated. As president, I can have my treasurer reallocate that money under certain circumstances, which I'm not going to say right now. I'm not the president anyway. So there are certain circumstances when the president can use that allocated money. He is saying that the budget is $7 trillion right now under Biden. It was 6.2 trillion under Trump, and it was 4 trillion under Obama. We, from just our taxes, just people working, every 3 months, we make $4 trillion in taxes are collected from income. And so that's why he's saying it's the middle class and the poor and the poor working. We are the ones that are carrying the country. Do you understand why they need more illegal migrants here? Because those top positions, once you get to the millions of dollars, they do not pay taxes on $1 million. They only pay taxes on $65,000. And maybe less than that, depending on what state they're in. Because people are millionaires, they'll move from their state and move to a different state. That's why a lot of people live in California. You think, oh my God, it's so expensive. How are they affording that? Because they don't pay the same amount of taxes that we pay. Same thing with Trump. Trump didn't even pay $100,000 in taxes. And he is a billionaire, allegedly. Well, if you add his property in, I guess, but you over-assessed it. But he still has more millions than anybody that's supporting him and that's going out there to vote for him. And so does Doug Emhoff. Who is Doug Emhoff? Kamala Harris Emhoff, the vice president's husband. And they have businesses all over. They're silent partners. And so that's why there's always a war. Why are you continuing to vote for someone that wants a war? To take your taxes and not send everybody in this country that has worked and paid into the system. And that is an American born here. Why do you think that I can't give you for 3 years of the budget $1,776 unless you work part-time. Why do you think it can't be done? It can't be done because I'm not the president. That is the only reason. Have a good day. You have somebody else telling you the same thing I've been saying, though.